And this is my EV converted 1976 MG Midget. I have not taken it on the highway yet. I don't know how fast it goes. I don't know its top speed. I don't know its 0 to 60. So hopefully today we'll figure all that out. First, I'm going to show you everything I did to complete the interior with the dash and all that. All right, I've mounted the display dead center. It looks really nice. And I kept it simple as possible. Just used some adhesive Velcro on the back of the display and on the dash here. I am going to get this connector to be a 90-degree off to the side so it's less visible and not as strained. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it. It's pretty solidly on there. Now I just need to make a little box for the remainder of my switches that won't interfere with my knee here and also won't interfere when I'm grabbing to go into first gear. So I want it to be like about that much space, 4 switches all there. And honestly, I'll probably Velcro to the underneath of the dash here because there's not that much force to flick a switch. I won't have to worry about pushing against it and peeling the Velcro off. And I was just digging around in here and was like, what is this? And this is the original shift knob. Except like the threads are stripped out of it. Oh, you know what? That's the metal piece that used to be on here. So if I glue that back in there and thread this on, that's way cooler than this. Yeah, here's what used to be on the shifter. And it drops right on there. It's interesting, it's like a wood. It's like wood inside, so I guess I'll glue it and then throw this on there. It'd be a lot cooler. So I glued the metal piece back onto the knob. And now it works great and looks original. And here's my finished product of the dash. No more ugly wires. I've blanked these two out with 3D printed discs. I'm going to put on some sort of sticker, some sort of logo. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on those yet. Open to ideas in the comments. Got my speedometer, 12-volt battery monitor. Then here I've got the motor temp sensor, my 12-volt battery, running lights, headlights, and my trip meter to reset the speedometer trip. All that wiring is tucked away. Here I have this little bit of wiring is the hazard switch, which I still want to diagnose. But then right here I've got my display. This will be more tucked away later. I can see everything here. I have clearance to shift everything. It barely clears right there on that bracket. If I bumped it over any more left, it would start to get too close to my knee, so it's in a good spot there. And then here I mounted the speakers, and I can tell if it's on with the blue light there, and this knob adjusts the volume. So it's quite easy like that. It's Bluetooth. I also tucked the cables through the covers here. So that's how it looks. I'm pretty happy with how it looks now. Everything looks a lot more tidy and a lot less chaotic. And then for the cables behind the seats, I've got that one lead running tucked and up through there. This one goes to the kill switch, and I can shorten this one by a couple feet so there's not this stack sitting here. And that one runs that way similarly. This is the battery data cable. That I can run under this piece too, like I did the speaker wires. And then that would be essentially not visible. At the start of my drive here, I'm at 11.6 C. We'll see how hot the car gets. And I've got 94.5% at the start. Warmest battery temp is at 9 C. And I reset my trip so that I'm at 0.0 miles. 8 miles on the EV since I put this in. So I've gone 9 miles, mostly on city streets going between 30 and 40. I've used 7% of my battery. That's over 100 mile range. My cells really haven't gotten that warm. They went from 9 to 13 C. My motor's up to 34. So I haven't even done any fast highway driving yet, and it's already up to 34. That's like 20C above ambient. That means in the summer when it's 35 to 40C, it would probably be going beyond 60C, which is what I would say is the temp limit for this motor. So that tells me this test alone, I haven't even gotten on the highway yet, but that tells me I need to get more airflow cooling down the motor. And now I'm on a stretch where I can get onto the highway, so I will film that and have you guys watch that. Okay, so I pulled over to give you guys that quick update, but now I'm going to get back on the road. So you can see what it looks like when this thing goes on the highway. Right now I'm just in third gear, cruising along. I will have to, when I get on the highway, I will have to shift to fourth. And since I don't have a clutch, that means I have to like rev match it to be able to do it. I've done it before, it's not that bad. But for a 0 to 60 test, where I want to start in first, second, third, fourth, and have clean shifts, I'm definitely going to lose at least a couple seconds there and not having a clutch. But this car already has more torque and more power than the stock gas car, so I think it still might come and meet the original 0 to 60 time, if not do better. Yeah, when I'm in third and I touch the pedal and it's got plenty of torque even in third. And if you remember, my speedometer runs about 5% fast. So if it says 65, I'm actually going 60. Alright, this is the final light before we get onto the highway. I'm not going to do 0 to 60 because obviously there's people in front of me. I'd like to think that I would accelerate faster than these modern day assault vehicle SUVs, but they might be going a little slower than me, who knows. Okay, taking off in third. Pulling 20 kilowatts. Speedometer says 40. That's pedal mash, 30 kilowatts. I'm gonna shift to fourth. I'm in fourth now. Speedometer says 50. Looks like I'm pulling a steady 30 kilowatts. Oh, this thing is mounting. Speedometer says 60. Oh, I think that's my motor. My motor temp only says 35C. It is climbing. Yeah, I don't have motor power. Oh, shoot. Something sounds clanky and rattly. So I am just coasting. Yeah, it sounds really bad. Maybe it's the transmission that went, because I feel no resistance going into the gears. Oh, no. Yeah. Something is destroyed in the transmission. We'll figure that out. Alright, so after that, my motor's up to 43C. My battery cells are up to 17C. I don't think it's a motor or a battery problem. It's probably the transmission. Alright, so right here in the side of the motor, I can see a bunch of debris fell out. And, oh man, it's hard to see. You can see there the cage slots are ripped open. So I think this thing threw a brush. So I guess that's where today's episode ends. Sad, but we'll figure it out. Obstacles have not stopped us before, but man, does it look good in that afternoon light with the Wasatch in the background. This won't be its final resting place, I promise.